Welcome, Joe Volpe on behalf of Go Live TV and Corriere Media Group for Corriere Canadese, North America's only Italian language daily newspaper, with the commentary of the day that follows up on a week that was for immigration. Guess what? Immigration and the Liberal Party. So Ahmed Hussen is so like Michael Ignatieff. Do you remember him? The distinguished visiting professor from Harvard who almost single-handedly nearly brought the Liberals to the brink of annihilation in election 2011. He was the party leader. He had help from a team of sycophants, hangers-on, who, like him, had never been members of the Liberal Party. They just couldn't comprehend that its apparatus belonged to the citizens of Canada, new or old. And its purpose is to serve the immediate interests of all Canadians while building towards a productive, sustainable, united future together. Justin Trudeau's victory in 2015 saved the party from oblivion in that year. He had help from Canadians who had grown tired of Stephen Harper or who had pulled back from Mulcair's NDP, which imploded before their very eyes during the election campaign. Now, many electors came from the ranks of the roughly 9 million, that's right, 9 million new Canadians landed since 1985. Close to 300,000 per year. Two-thirds of them, 6 million, became citizens by 2015. Now, it may have been a temporary personal reward for Justin Trudeau. The apparatus, such as it was, became the fiefdom of erstwhile organizers with no connection to the community or with personal agenda that don't seem to transcend the moment or carry the weight of national significance. They've forgotten some basic elements of Canadian reality. Many were elected or appointed on Justin Trudeau's coattails. Just as many will disappear when his public image takes a hit. That's happening now. Now, believe it or not, Ahmed Hussen, Minister of Refugees and Immigration, can help arrest the ebb of that tide. He seems particularly adept, however, at hiding his interest in fulfilling that task. His colleagues may well wonder why. His party was once considered a vehicle of choice for those who looked for an apparatus through which demographics would sustain the critical mass of human resources need for a vibrant national economy. Men and women who really wanted to make something in this country. Liberals used to stand for family reunification and immigration. They trusted the judgment of employers to hire staff according to the best interests of their businesses. They used to look for ways to entice, to welcome, to employ, and to retain those eager to make Canada their future. Hussen seems determined to define his party as the biggest impediment to labor mobility, a no-go zone for people from Europe who are accustomed to moving as freely in search of work as goods and services are free to seek potential consumers. That happens under the Schengen Agreement. Now, he insists on nearly impossible to achieve grades in a flawed, corrupted IELTS language competency test to keep them out, and a mean-spirited deportation program to expel those that somehow make it here without status. This guy's humanitarian. The gravity of the situation has not escaped European governments. In Portugal, national news outlets Diário de Notícias, print, and RTP, electronic, reported deportations from Canada of Portuguese nationals, 21 so far this year, and another 22 issued expulsion orders, on track to surpass the 101 in such a situation in 2018. Many of them came forward to be judged under a pilot program he subsequently set aside, denying it ever existed. Now, this prompted Minister Jose Carneiro, Secretary of State for Foreign Communities, to suggest that the figures and actions by Hussen were inconsistent with what the minister appeared to promise him when he visited Canada. At that time, he appeared open to allowing his officials to make use of a measure referred to as substitutive evaluation to replace the language test. People who have been following this program know what we talk about. It's a different era in Portugal, apparently. Back in Canada, Hussen's immigration plan is on schedule to allow for the landing of enough new arrivals to replace the entire city of London, Ontario, population 300,000, this year. Think about it for a minute. He's going to bring in enough people to reconstruct the city of London, Ontario this year. But it will only have room for 600 Portuguese, 400 Poles, judging from the acceptance rates of the last 5 years. After he gets rid of some 240 Portuguese currently here and ready to be shipped out. The Italians fare marginally better. He's on track to accept some 800 of them, provided the Dimitri family of 6, 2 children born here, are caught and deported, contrary to a directive of the Supreme Court in 2015. But the Dimitri only have MPs, the international press, and the Italian Comité speaking for them, along with a coalition of undocumented workers, Brazilians, Colombians, and other sympathizers who gathered to protest outside Hussen's office in Toronto on Saturday the 16th. Yeah, you've seen them right here behind me. Why Hussen wants to rid the country of 1 million gainfully employed and integrated would-be Canadians, 500,000 of them in Ontario, when he declared last week that there are 130,000 jobs in Ontario alone that go begging to be filled, is a mystery only a brainiac like Ignatieff could possibly understand. Lesser mortals, like his colleagues, who rely on the votes those 9 million newer Canadians may exercise in a free election, will wonder what in heaven's name he has substituted for compassion and common sense. It should be noted that Minister Hussen and his staff have continuously declined invitations to be interviewed by Go Live, Corriere Media Group, or Corriere Canadese. We'll be back right after these messages for the comment in Italian. Ciao, a presto.